My name is Garrett, and today we're going to be talking about how to compost your food scraps. And composting food scraps relates to a few different permaculture principles. The first being produce no waste. The second, obtain a yield, and the permaculture pattern of cycle. So the reason why we would want to compost your food scraps is mainly to produce no waste, or at least begin to, and it keeps your food scraps from going to the landfill. So you can also obtain a yield, but we'll talk about that. This is a very, very low-tech, basic way of composting food scraps. There's various different methods, but today we're talking about just throwing your veggie scraps into a plastic bin. And this one's a little bit gross, but you just throw it in here, and each day or each week, whenever this fills up, you're going to dump this into a compost pile. And this one here is just a plastic bin, and this one's getting pretty full, but all you do is dump the food scraps into the bin, and you have some kind of mulch that's high in carbon that you want to throw on top. So kind of straw or dry grass clippings. This is some sort of tea tree, and what you're going to be doing is throwing that in there. Once you throw this in, you toss in more mulch, and you keep the process going. Eventually this will break down into real good compost soil that can be used into your garden. You can also use it to brew compost tea. Other ways of composting, not just with this bin, but you can also feed some of your veggie scraps to chickens. You can also put them in a worm farm. What we have here is a very easy, simple example of a worm farm. It's just a styrofoam polystyrene box. And what we're doing is usually you first start off with some mulch, usually straw, and some kind of worm castings already, or some topsoil. You throw it in there. With the worms, you have to have some worms to start off with. You want to throw some food at the one end so they have some space to travel. Like I said before, banana peels are really good, and eventually they'll eat through this. You don't want to overfeed them, but you can, usually this is on some kind of slope, so any kind of worm juice is going to be coming through here. Ideally, you would have this raised up and have a drain, so you can drain some of the worm juice, and that worm juice just gets poured out onto your garden. Hopefully that all makes sense, and you can understand what it takes to recycle your scraps. Now all you have to do is begin the process.